Hey YouTube, it's your girl Ebony Elbow. So today's video comes highly requested. A couple weeks ago I did a video about my decision to get bariatric surgery, the gastric sleeve. If you want to see that video, just look below. And I mentioned that I had already previously had a tummy tuck. So when I posted the video, I got several inboxes from people like, hey, can you please do a YouTube video about your tummy tuck? We want to hear about it, blase squaze, I want to get a tummy tuck, da 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 da. So I decided, like, why not? It's not a secret. I had a tummy tuck. I didn't go to the gym, child. I had a tummy tuck. So if you want to hear all about my botched tummy tuck, see a few pictures, and get all the teas, just stay tuned because I'm going to give it to you real. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, let me take y'all back. I've had my tummy tuck now 5 years. I got it in February of 2014. So what made me decide to want to get a tummy tuck, at that time I had 2 C-sections, and some girls, they lucky enough, I think it's genetics. I don't know. They say look at your mama and how your mama look, that's how you gonna be. I don't know, but for me, my stomach did not go back flat after when I had my first daughter. It did. I was a 19. I went right back to a 19. When I had my second daughter is when I hit the 200s. When I was, ooh, child, never mind. But when I hit the 200s and I had that C-section and my stomach just never went back right. I had that little pouch. And then, you know, after that, I continued to gain weight. And that pouch got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was like, no matter what I did, what type of exercise, I would lose weight in all other areas except that pouch. That pouch wasn't going nowhere. Like that little fupa, like that, it wasn't going nowhere. So I was like, nah, I gotta get me a tummy tuck. Like, I like to wear my stomach out. Like, even when I was big, I still wore my stomach out. But I wanted to wear my stomach out. I wanted to be more confident. So I decided to get a tummy tuck. I didn't do my research, and that is one thing that I can say, ladies, do your research, because if I would do that all over again, now I would do my research. I did a little research, but not much. I went here in Jacksonville, Florida. I didn't, like a lot of girls, they go to Miami. There's a lot of good doctors in Miami. People go outside of Jacksonville, but I just wanted something quick and fast. The deposit was like $500. I put down my deposit and paid on it until, back then I was getting like good tax returns. So I paid on it until I got my tax return. And I think when I got my tax return, I owed like $3,000 on it. And first of all, people asked me how much my tummy tuck was. So my tummy tuck was $7,500. But again, guys, this was 5 years ago. They weren't, like, tummy tucks have always been popular, but they weren't as popular as they were now. And my doctor charged by the size and the work he had to do. So he had to do a lot of muscle repair on me because of my 2 C-sections. So it was $7,500 plus I paid. So tummy tuck comes with a little lipo, but it doesn't come with like full lipo. So I wanted my flanks and everything. My flanks is, you know, your back fat. I wanted all that lipo. So that's why mine ended up being $7,500. So I paid for everything. My tummy tuck was February 20th of 2014. So the night before, you know, they make you wash with that, what is it? The beta wash, that brown stuff. And I washed up with that, and I was so excited. I was excited, but I was nervous. But I was just like, I'm just ready to get this over with. I'm going to be fine. Like, you know. So I remember my mom, I think it was my mom, my best friend, my husband, my cousin, everybody went to surgery with me. And you know, they got me in the back, and you know, he prepped me. He drew all the lines on me and on my flanks and told me, you know, this is gonna be gone, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna take you in like a Coca-Cola bottle. And I was like, oh yes, I was so excited. So all I remember was they gave me the little cocktail, and they were like, count from 10, and child, by the time I got to 7, I was knocked out. So I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up, my husband and my mom had told me, like, you've been in surgery for a long time. I think he said it was going to be 2 or 3 hours, and I ended up being back there. I want to say they said like 6 hours. And they were just like, you been in surgery for a long time. I was like, huh? They was like, you been back there a long time. So I'm like, I ain't really care about that. I was like, hi, look. I'm asking my husband, like, hi, look, what all did he do? And my husband was like, well, he didn't finish. He said that you were under anesthesia too long. So he had to come bring you out, and he's going to finish at a later date when you heal a little. So immediately I was upset because I'm like, I'm trying to feel, I'm all bandaged up. So I'm trying to feel, first of all, I'm still under anesthesia. So I'm trying to feel like, well, what all did he do? My husband, he don't really know about plastic surgery. He was like, well, he said he didn't get to do the lipo. So I was like, oh my God, like that was one of my biggest insecurities, was my back fat. I hated my back fat. So that was one thing I really, really want to go on. And that was one thing that he didn't do. So I was kind of bummed or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. But, so they got me up, got me home. At that time, I was a little sore, but I couldn't really feel a lot because, again, I was still under the anesthesia. So my husband, they had got me a recliner. So I got a recliner. You were supposed to sleep in a recliner, not even try to get in a bed or anything. So I slept in a recliner. I went to my mom's house because my husband had to go back to work. So my mom already had a recliner, which my dad sits in. So I went to my mom's house. I stayed the first few days in my mom's house. And me being fast, so that first day, I was like completely out of it. Like, I do really bad under anesthesia, so I don't remember nothing that first day besides, that conversation between my husband and I. So that next day, first of all, you're not supposed to take your bandage off. You're not supposed to try to bathe or anything for those first few days. So that next day, me being grown, I wanted to see how I look. So I'm peeling the bandages back a little bit just to try to see what it looked like. And then that's when, and I am glad that I did peel the bandage back a little bit, because that's when I noticed this. And I was just like, what is this? This don't look right. It was just like my skin was starting to peel back and I could see my flesh or whatever. And I was like, well, I don't think that's normal. So I kind of waited it out. I had my drains in and everything. My mom was emptying my drains. My oldest daughter had learned how to do it. She was helping me empty my drains or whatever. And, me being fast again. So that third day, I noticed it again. And I was just like, something ain't right. I was like, Mom, this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it was starting to get bigger. So I called my doctor and he was like, come in, let me take a look at it. So he took a look at it and immediately he was like, he already knew. He was like, you're getting what they call necrosis. So basically necrosis, guys, is when your tissue dies. It loses blood circulation. What happened was I lost blood circulation for too long to that area in my stomach because I was under the anesthesia too long. I was open too long. So I lost too much blood flow and oxygen to that area and my skin just died. It was literally dying. Like necrosis means death, like death of tissue. It was dying. It was turning black and it was dying. So my stomach was like turning black, and I put a few pictures in, but it was ugly and it kept getting bigger. It started out small like this and then bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it was from my pelvic area all the way up to my belly button. That's where it ended up being. It was the size of a football. So all that died. So he told me, basically it was nothing I could do. It had to run its course. It was going to die. The skin was going to fall off. And, he told me it was going to get worse. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, so that day I went home. I went to my house. I went home and I got in my recliner. And so basically, back up a little bit. I'm still really sore. You cannot stand up straight. So I'm humped over, can't stand up straight. I'm upset. Like, what the freak? Like, out of all people, why me? Why am I that so-and-so million person that this is happening to? So I'm already upset. I'm like, oh my God. So, and at that time, I was basically more so worried about the aesthetics than the healing. Like, what is it going to look like? And, So I went home to my house. I got in the recliner. And all I remember was I tried to get up to go to the bathroom because they do want you to walk to prevent blood clots. And I tried to get up to the bathroom. And literally, guys, I got up out the recliner and I couldn't walk. My daughter pushed the thing down for my feet. My daughter ended up staying home with me that day. Thank God. And I literally couldn't walk 5 inches and I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was about to die. And I was like, oh my God, I'm dying. I could not breathe. I felt like I was dying. I told my daughter, I was like, I can't breathe. My daughter immediately, like, she just went into shock mode. Like, she called the ambulance. Like, my daughter saved my life. She called the ambulance. Next thing I know, I was on the back of the ambulance. I was at Shands in the ICU. And basically, they was telling me, like, I had a blood clot. So I was like, oh my God. So all I'm thinking about is I'm going to die. You know, I had heard about a few people that had died. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to die. I got my kids. Like, this was not worth it. And I had a baby at the time. Like, I had my son. He was still a baby. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I ended up getting out of the hospital. And, you know, luckily I didn't die, obviously. I got out of the hospital and I was back. So I was on medicine, like blood thinners and da-da-da-da-da. So I was back dealing with the necrosis. So by the time I got out of the hospital, the necrosis had got bigger. So I was going to the doctor and he was basically like, well, I can try to kind of speed this up for you. So he basically like burnt the tissue off that was dying. He burned it off. So basically like, oh my God. And I can't feel it. So mind you, I can't feel, all my nerves are dead. So when you have a tummy tuck, all your nerves are dead. You can't feel anything. Somebody could jab you, stab you. You can't feel a thing. So I couldn't feel it. He didn't put me to sleep or anything. He just burnt it off. Only thing I could do was smell it. So he burnt it off. And I was just like, oh my God, y'all. It was so ugly. And it was just bad. Like, it was about 3 inches deep, 2 or 3 inches deep. It was bad. Like, I had to go to wound care every day. So his wound care. So my mom was really upset. My mom went to every appointment with me and she was just like, what happened? This is malpractice. And so basically he's like, well, you signed the paper saying that this could basically happen, which I'm not that type of person. I was never going to sue him. I knew my doctor. We were cool and I wasn't going to sue him. So basically, long story short, y'all, you have more of a risk of getting necrosis when you're overweight. So truth be told, my doctor should have made me lose a little weight before he did the procedure on me, but because we had already had a relationship, he went ahead and did it on me anyway. I was nowhere near the size I am now, but clinically speaking, I was still overweight. So when you're overweight, it increases your chances of getting necrosis. So the fact that I was open for so long and my weight was just a catalyst, I just end up being that person that got necrosis. I never wanted to sue him. Like, it was never that deal. Of course, I was upset, but I didn't want to sue him. You know, he promised me, he was like, I'm going to get you through this. He didn't make me go to wound care. He did my wound care every day. He even came in on a Saturday and did my wound care. And he's like, I'm going to get you through this. And when you're healed, I'm going to go back in. He's like, his specific words was, I'm going to go back in and make it pretty. But he's like, before I touch you again, you have to get your BMI. I think it was like at a 30 or a 31. He's like, I cannot operate on you again until you get your BMI where it needs to be clinically speaking. So, of course, that made me upset because I'm like, I wanted my surgery to be done. You know, I was ready. I had bought all these cute clothes, back out, stomach out. I was just stupid. So, I ended up having to go to wound care every day, and they would like literally, like, they would take these gauze, and it was the solution, it like literally had bleach in it. So you would do like bleach and saline, and like I ended up learning how to do it. My daughter ended up learning. My daughter was like, she was like 10 or 11 at the time, maybe 11. And she ended up learning how to do it. And my daughter would like pack my wound, y'all. She would put her gloves on and pack my wound for me. I couldn't, when the necrosis got really bad, I couldn't walk. I couldn't work for like maybe 3 or 4 months. I couldn't work. I couldn't walk at all. So you already can't sit up straight. So when the necrosis got really bad, when it got up to my belly button, I couldn't walk. And it was just bad, y'all. I couldn't do nothing for myself. I couldn't bathe. I was like so depressed. I couldn't bathe. I couldn't do nothing. Stand up straight, nothing. So I end up having these dog ears. So basically, when you kind of like fat, when you get a tummy tuck, they pull the skin down. They end up having extra skin on the side, and they call them dog ears. So with this tummy tuck, I end up having 3 surgeries because of this tummy tuck. So I went back in. Once the necrosis started healing a little bit, he went back in and he cut my dog ears off. And I don't think that was like quick little outpatient thing. Like, I don't even think he put me to sleep because I couldn't feel it. He just cut it off. I could smell it and everything. And then once the wound had to be pink. He wanted all the dead skin gone. It had to be pink and clear. Pink he told me pink means it's healthy flesh, it's healthy skin, it's living, it's flesh, living flesh. So he wanted everything to be pink. So by the time, like I said, it was the size of a football. I had got all the way up to my belly button from my pelvic area. It was huge, guys, like no exaggeration. It was huge, but it was slowly, like you heal so slowly. And when you're overweight, you heal even slowly. So I was like, he put me on like a high protein diet. Obviously, the protein helps you heal a little faster. So I was eating like protein and doing whatever he told me to do. I was doing it because at this point, like, I'm scared straight. Like, I want to live. I want to be okay. I want to walk again. I'm doing whatever he said. So maybe like, I only couldn't walk for maybe like a week or two. And I started back learning how to walk again slowly. At this point, I still couldn't stand up straight. We finally got the wound. We got all the dead tissue out, and we was packing it, and putting the bleach solution in it and packing it every day. And I would have to change my packings, me and my daughter, like 3 times a day. I couldn't bathe. Like, I had to take like little bird baths, and I'm really like a really clean person. So that bothered me a lot. I just couldn't do nothing for myself. And I remember just saying like, oh my God, like, why me? Out of all the people you always hear about, that one person, and I never been that one person, never knew nobody that was that one person. Why me? Although I was grateful to still be living, it still was a lot to go through. So long story short, he got the wound small enough to where he could go back in and surgically close it, the rest of it. So he got it back. So it was this big, and he got it back closed to maybe like this much. I think it took like 2 months for it to close like that much. And then he went back in and closed it so that I can finish healing like that. And he told me like, this is just so that you can finish healing. This isn't the final project. I'm going to go back in and still make everything pretty once you lose the weight. This is just so that you can finish healing. It needs to be closed. You don't need to have these open wounds. So I was like, okay. So this is how it looked when he went back in and did that surgery. And it was like my torso had got smaller because he had already taken off so much fat. And then he had to go back in, and so I lost so much skin. And then it was like he was pulling a little bit of skin I had left, like skin stretches. So he was pulling a little bit of skin I had left, and then he pulled skin up from my pelvic area. And to me, it seemed like my torso had gotten smaller. I don't know, probably just in my mind. I don't know, but I wasn't happy with how it looked. I didn't like it. I did end up healing. It took like 2 or 3 months. I healed from that. And, I was able to walk again. I was sore. So I was sore all over again. When he did that surgery, I was sore all over again. So, but I ended up being able to stand up straight, walk again. I ended up going back to work. And, just making sure making sure my cut stayed clean. So maybe like a few months after that, he cleared me. He was like, okay, it's fully healed. We can start, working on finishing your procedure. But I had to lose the weight. So I think at the time it was only like, literally, y'all, like 15 or 20 pounds I had to use. It's 2019. I had my surgery in 2014, and my tummy tuck is still not finished. So let me tell y'all though. So the first time I lost the weight, and then I got pregnant again. And I ended up losing that baby, but I got pregnant again. I couldn't get the surgery. The second time I lost the weight, mind you, it's still not, I ain't gonna lie, it took me a long time to lose the weight. 15, 20 pounds took me a long time. Just playing, like, my stomach, I give it to him. My stomach was flat as a washboard. Super duper flat as a washboard. So I'm like, bump that, like, my stomach flat, I'm fine, like, I'll lose it whenever. I wanted my back done, and y'all, my back looked so much worse, like, because he had done pulled the fat down from the front. It made my back, like, end up looking like boxy because he didn't go back in and contour it. So I end up looking boxy, like squarish. And I still do. To me, in my opinion, I look boxy. I don't have that, that Coca-Cola type shape. I don't have that anymore, which I had that prior to. I didn't have a perfect Coca-Cola shape, but you had that little curve, where your stomach go in and your breasts come out. Now it's just straight because he pulled the skin down. So it made my back look even worse. It made my rolls look so much worse. So I wanted it done. So I was like, let me lose this weight. Lost the weight. Finally lost the weight. Lost 20 pounds. And went back in. Had my pre-op. Listen, y'all. Had my pre-op. The very next day, my appendix burst. My appendix ruptured. So I was back in Shan's ICU because my appendix had ruptured. Couldn't have my surgery again. End up getting depressed, gaining the 20 pounds I lost, plus more. Oh, child. Oh, my God. And then it just took me forever. So I'm still seeing him going in for checkups. He's like, okay, you need to lose this weight. So I'm getting bigger. The rolls in my back, they get fatter because no matter how much weight I gain, like, in the 5 years, I have yet to see like a lot of weight go to my stomach. I don't gain weight in my stomach. I gain weight around it, but where he did the tummy tuck at, I don't gain weight. So that's one good perk, y'all. You won't gain weight in your stomach. Like, I end up getting pregnant again with my son I had in October, and people was like, "You pregnant?" Like I was 9 months, looking like I was 4 months pregnant. Like I was so small. Like, but it hurt. It did. So I will tell you this: if you're gonna have a tummy tuck, make sure you're done having kids because it hurt because my muscles were so tight, my stomach couldn't stretch. It's like with my older son, I was huge at 9 months, and with my son I just had, I was small. People kept saying, "You pregnant, girl? You don't look pregnant." Like I could wear my stomach out if I wanted to, but it was because of the tummy tuck. Like my stomach wouldn't get big. So, but it hurt. I even tried to have my baby early because I couldn't take the pain no more. It hurt because my stomach trying to stretch and it couldn't. So have your baby first if you want to do a tummy tuck. So that leads me to where I am now. So now I'm still, you know, post-op, don't have my surgery. It's still not finished. He better not put no statute of limitations on my money. He better not play with me about my money. I still want my surgery finished. But now I'm kind of at the point where, so I decided to get the bariatric surgery. And guys, I'm going to be honest, like, I am probably like 40, 50 pounds heavier now than when I had my tummy tuck. And my stomach is still flat. I do see a little difference, but my stomach is flat. So, and then even when I had my baby, like, I swear to God, like, y'all, no exaggeration, I had a C-section with my last baby. And so I had another C-section. So now I got all this scar tissue, tummy tuck, C-section, all this scar tissue. So I had my baby in like within hours. I remember posting a picture on Instagram. My stomach was a rat back flat. So the tummy tuck, it worked. Nah, it works. My stomach was rat back flat. Like I said, I don't really gain weight in my stomach. If I'm on my cycle, I do get a little bloated, but it goes right back down. So I say all that to say, people ask me, was it worth it? In my opinion, it was worth it. It boosted my confidence so much because, you know, I had like insecurities about my stomach. It boosted, like, you can't tell me nothing. Like, in my mind, like, I'm just it. So it boosted my confidence through the roof. I did go through a lot. I did go through a lot, but it was worth it. And will I do it over again? Yes. But when I do it over again, I will make sure I'm in perfect health, that I am at the BMI that is clinically necessary for a safe procedure. And, you know, make sure that I'm just in better health this time around if I did it over again. So now that I decided to get the gastric sleeve, I kind of want to stay away from the plastic surgery. I want to see how my body looks after I lose the weight. And see if I could just shape my body myself with just toning and exercise and, of course, the surgery. So I'm holding off for now on getting the surgery, just to kind of stay away from plastic surgery. It's been a lot been happening lately, and I already been under the knife so many times. So I don't really want to do that again. So I'm going to try to see, you know, the gastric sleeve is laparoscopic. It's a minor outpatient procedure. Well, not really outpatient. You stay one night in the hospital, but it's laparoscopic. But I want to see how I do with that, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully I won't have to finish it. I know I'm not going to get a refund, but if I did have to finish it, I hope he would still honor the money that I paid. But it was rough, y'all. Like, it was rough. I'll show y'all some pictures after I had my tummy tuck. I was fine. I still had that boxy look, but I was fine. And like I said, my stomach, it doesn't get big. I have an ugly scar. I'll show y'all my scar now. It's really ugly. It's ugly. I do kind of want to do a scar revision, but then again, I kind of don't. I don't want to be in that pain because they're going to have to do a little muscle repair. And the muscle repair is what hurt. That's why you can't stand up straight, because your muscles and it just hurt. But you are going to be in a lot of pain after a tummy tuck, but it is worth it. I recommend it. I say anybody who want to do it, do what makes you happy. Don't listen to other people. If you want to get a tummy tuck, do it. Do what makes you happy. You know, if it's gonna make you feel better about yourself, do it. Like, people gonna always have something to say. Whether you do it or you don't, people gonna always have. You gotta live your life for you. So in my opinion, it is worth it. They're a lot cheaper now. Do your research. If you're gonna do a tummy tuck, do your research. Make sure you go. Not saying that my doctor wasn't good. Make sure they're board certified. He was board certified, but I don't know. It's just one of those situations. I wish he wouldn't have left me under the knife so long, but I do understand. He said he had a lot of muscle repair from my previous C-sections, and then I wish he would have been more stern with me about losing weight before he did it. But nevertheless, you know, I'm here. I'm still alive. I'm grateful. I'm not going to sue him. I'm not looking for money or anything. And I'm just happy to be here. So that's my story, guys. Like I said, I'll post a few pictures. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm an open book. It's not a secret. I had a tummy tuck, okay? All right, guys. Until next time, like, comment, and subscribe.